G'day everyone, welcome back to Sunstate Metal Detecting and thank you for joining us for another afternoon metal detecting down on the beach. We're following up from our video last week where we had quite possibly my best ever haul of finds, at least in a very long time. Now we've been working along this beach coming back towards us where we are now from Pyalba, which is down so just where my finger is there, and we're gradually working our way up along the beach, and we're going to do a whole heap of this section over the next couple of weeks. So we're basically just going to pick up where we left off and carry on and see what else we can find. Now if you didn't catch our video last week, definitely go back and have a look. I'm going to leave a link in the description for you. There were some absolutely stellar finds, some really rare stuff in there that I mean, I've never seen it detecting, and I'm sure that a lot of you out there, it's probably on some of your bucket lists, so it's worth a watch. Anyway, enough prattling on. We're going to walk down this way here and find the point where we left off, which is just up around the point there. We'll then come back and we're going to be working all of this stuff along the top of the beach and carry on that way until we decide we're too tired to carry on. Let's get onto it. See you at the first signal. But beach silver is good, and given that that's our first coin of the day, is even better. I like this beach. This beach is cool. I've located another pretty severe washout. I've had to vault over that log to get to this find. Sounds like this, and it's sat right on the surface. Okay, well, we're not long underway. We're only a dozen or so paces from where we entered the beach, and there's a huge washout here actually. Yeah, it's pretty extreme. This is actually what the original sand level was, and so you can see that it's dropped a long way. We do have a target down here in the middle of this bit of a washout here we're going to have a go at. Mid to high 40s. Now I'm just going to err on the side of caution because there could be anything in this, in all this gunk that's been washed in. I really don't want to take a needle or something nasty to the knee. Actually, here's an old fastener of some description, like an old square nail actually. Yeah, it's an old boat square nail. That's probably our target. Didn't even really have to dig for it. I thought it sounded shallow, but I didn't think it was going to be quite that shallow. There is possibly still something else in there, so we'll keep searching. Oh, big, massive mozzies, my goodness. Getting swarmed by them. Okay. What have we got there? That's a bit more of a square nail. Yeah. All right. Let's fill that in and keep moving. All right, well, I've just turned around, just in that little hollow there where those two square nails were, and just down in front of me here, got something in the 50s. Let's see. All right, a little bit higher out of the hole. Probably just going to be another square nail. Yep, sure is. But the interesting thing is all of these have these larger tops on them. So it's like the nail end here, and then like a rivet end there. You don't normally find them like that. All right, let's move on. Okay, we have another really solid tone here. Let's have a go of this. Extremely persistent, and it's a tiny target, so very likely to be a coin. Let's see. Should only be shallow. That's surprising. A little bit further over this way. This is all the detritus that's washed down all the leaves and twigs and all that sort of stuff. It's actually quite difficult to dig in. Oh, no. It's not a coin. It's a still as yet unused tea light candle. Right. Okay. Whatever. Let's pop that away and keep moving. All right. Well, we're back here under the big old palm tree. And we showed this one a few weeks ago, actually probably almost a month ago, if not a bit more. But down below here it's an absolute mess. It's all been washed out pretty severely. The tree's going to be fine. It's very well rooted there and looks like it's fairly stable, so it'll live on for a while longer anyway. But right at the very top here, I've got a tone I'd like to investigate. Right up in these rocks here. That tone there, very persistently above a 40, but not by much. So it's got me curious. Could it be a coin? And if so, what coin? Yeah. Let's see. Okay, oh yeah. Ah, I knew it. It's a threepence. I think. Certainly looks like one. I thought that sounded like a threepence. Cool, I'm just going to get out into the light here a little bit. Hold on, I'm having trouble making heads and tails of this one. Or is it foreign? Oh no, it's a wheatie. It's a 1948 wheat threepence, so it's one of the 50% ones, which is why it rings up a little bit lower than normal. But beach silver is good, and given that that's our first coin of the day, is even better. Let's pop that away, and we'll see if we can sort out the rest of this mess. All right, just over there is where that threepence came from. There's the big old palm tree. And just down here in front of me is a target that I should apparently be looking at according to the detector. That is telling me it's as close to the surface as anything. And, oh, actually, yeah. Hey, it's another threepence. Sat right on the surface. I don't know how I didn't see that. That's going to be a 925. Oh, that's nice. Hold on. Let's have a look. What are we dealing with here? Oh, it's pretty toast. Sorry, guys. It's a bit of a tricky one to work out. I'm going to put my head torch on. Here we go. Let's have a look to get... Oh, no, it's gone. Come back. Trying to throw it away. I'm having trouble making out detail on that one. Okay, we're going to have to wait till later, but it's definitely going to be pre-1945, being a 925 coin, so that's a great little find. So 2 threepence from this little pocket. I'm going to say where there's 2 old coins, there's probably going to be more, so we'll search a little bit more thoroughly and see what else we can turn up. Okay, we are one sidestep from the last 925 threepence, and we might have another one. This is definitely the right sort of sound for one, although this one's got a little bit of depth. Let's have a go. Maybe a little bit of iron in there with it, but that can be either other objects in the sand or just interference. I'm hoping it's going to be another thrip. Be nice to have a hat trick. Here we go. And we're getting down to a different coloured layer there. Yep, we're out. Very consistent out of the hole. Thought I just heard something else in the hole, but nope. It's round. Oh, it's a lovely little button. Ah, yes. Lovely little concave brass or bronze button. It's got the 4-hole design on it. Actually, let's just shed a little bit of extra light on the situation. That might be a good idea, hey? So, these sort of buttons, typically, well, they sort of went out of fashion as Bakelite and other plastics started coming in. So this could very easily be 100 plus years old. I'm just taking a look to see if I can read any text on the face of the button. It's a firm maybe. It's a little bit too toasted to tell at the moment, but that is definitely going in our treasure pocket, and we'll see if we can get any more information on that one a little bit later on when we clean it up. Now, as a point of interest, there is a good reason we're finding old stuff here. Up the hill, so you can't see it from here, but behind all this scrubland there's a hill that goes up, and then there's a road. And on the other side of the road there, back up until 1950, there used to be a pub. And that pub was there from, I believe, sometime in the 1880s or the 1890s. So there's no doubt been a few drunkards that have stumbled out of the pub after a long day of drinking, have stumbled down to the beach and lost all their coinage, and there's, broken their buttons and all that sort of stuff. So there's a good chance we're going to find more. Let's keep working. All right, it's pretty slow going. Lots of finds along here, and unfortunately the sunlight is fading very, very quickly. Unfortunately, my schedule didn't allow me to get down here as early as I'd hoped, but we'll make the most of what little light is left. We do have a wonderful little tone here that's well worth investigating. Have a listen. Definitely sounds like it could be a coin. Any coin in the 80s is well worth investigating. That is, of course, assuming it's a coin. I hope so. Okay, so we've hit rocks right away. That's a great sign, because coins typically slow down their travel when they get into these rocky little crevices. Now, I'm going to have to be a little bit careful. We've got some broken glass in here. I'd rather not end up with a shard of glass through my finger. Strangely enough. It is a coin. Now the question is, what coin is it? And we're going to tell by looking at the edge. And it's a plain edge, which means that's going to be a 2 cent. There we go. All right, so our first decimal coin into our pocket. And I'm sure there's going to be plenty more of those to be found. Let's keep going. All right, hold that thought. There is something else here. There is another tone just above this that could be another coin. Sitting 40-41. And small target again. So, very possible. Very, very possible. Could even be another thrip. Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, the other day we were finding pre-decimal and decimal coins in the same hole together. So it is entirely within the scope of possibility. Oh yeah, I do see something there. It's another thrip. Okay. Now that one is very, very toasted. Now, given how green that is, we're not going to be able to make out anything on there. I'm just going to confirm one little thing. Yeah, definitely a thrip. Now, given how green that is, I can guarantee you this is going to be a post-1945 50% thrip. So it'll be one of the wheat thrips, but we'll have to find out what date it is after we do some cleaning. So that is 3 silvers for the day. And the day is still young. All right, let's keep filling our pockets with silver. All right, again, slow progress. We haven't moved far. Another tone here worth investigating. Another small one. Not too sure what to make of this one. It seems to be in the, oh dear, that's rather firm. In the wall of this washout here. I think we're actually straight onto rock. We are. Goodness. So we're going to have to hand tool this one. Hopefully we're able to locate it without too much hassle, but it does sound like it could have some depth, which if that's the case, could be very good for us. Now, oh yeah, there are lots of big rocks here. Okay, so it was underneath that big rock that we just removed. Oh, coin. Is it a coin or is it a button? Coin. What is that? Is it a 1 cent? It is. Yes. Boy, it took me a while to get my eyes to focus on that properly. Yeah, it is 1 cent, just hiding out under the rock there. All right, well, it did well sniffing that out from underneath such a thick rock. Let's put all that back in place, and we'll keep working our way along. Okay, we have another target worth searching. This one's in a pretty awkward spot. We've got a washout on that side, and we've got a washout on that side, and it's just at the top of, yeah, right at the very top here somewhere. Mid-40s. So very possibly could be a coin, amongst other things. All right, let's see. Not hearing it. And that's because it's actually down the back here, and it's an old copper square nail. All right, more and more of them turning up. I'm not really surprised, because I imagine there would have been a lot of boat building activity along here back in the day, but it's always that good indicator that we are still very, very close to some of the lovely older finds. Let's keep moving. All right, here's another lovely clean tone. Let's have a go at this. Don't get much better than that. All right, I reckon it's going to be somewhere near this stone. Doesn't sound overly, oh no, I thought that was a coin straight up. Doesn't sound overly deep. Oh, yep, there is a coin. And that is going to be, I think, another 1 cent. Yep, another 1 cent. Hiding under that rock there. Did I get a hint of another tone? No, just the one. All right, let's get that bagged up and we'll carry on. All right, well, a little bit of time has passed since the last find. I found that a lot of the beach down here is just completely gone. It's just bare rock now, and unfortunately anything that was there is long gone. But we're back onto sand again here as we approach the point where we left off last week. And I do have a tone here that's going to be worth investigation. Let's have a go at this one. Somewhere in the low 80s, I reckon, for that one. Okay. Okay, high 70s now that we're out of the hole. So that's an interesting change. I thought it was likely going to be a 2 cent, but maybe not if it's the high 70s. Okay. Oh, I think I see a silver coin again. I do. It's a sixpence. And it's a 925 sixpence. I see a coat of arms on there. And what's more, I'm going to be able to get a date straight off this one. It's in rather good condition, actually. Oh, first year of issue, 1910. So that's going to be Edward on the back. Hey, that's cool. Let me have a little look. Is that Edward? It sure is. Ha ha! Wonderful. Well, that's one of the very first coins ever minted here in Australia, I believe. 1910. Very, very nice. Let's add that to our growing collection of pre-decimals. And yeah, we'll keep plodding along here. Well, I've had a bit of a technical malfunction. The skid pad, or skid plate off the bottom of my coil there has gone AWOL. So I'm going to have to retrace my steps and just see if it might have fallen off somewhere. But we're going to persist. We're just going to be a little bit careful with the coil. But in the meantime, I'm just going to rotate this way. We have a surface find, and he's just hiding here. It's a beautiful, bright fishing lure. Very tangled up in this seagrass here. So we're just going to try and break that free without hooking ourselves. I'm sort of glad, there we go. Just sort of glad I'm wearing gloves, because the last thing I'd want is end up with tetanus or, you know, a horrible infection off getting stabbed by one of these nasty hooks. Even though I am wearing gloves, it's very, very possible. But yeah, we'll bag that, and we may be able to make use of that in the future. Cool. Let's keep trundling along, hey? All right, well, we've got another lovely high 70s tone here, very similar to that last one that we dug up that was a sixpence. I wonder if this could be more of the same. Let's have a go. Oh, that's low 70s now. Okay, let's find out, shall we? I'd say now that it's switched to a low 70s, it's actually probably more likely to be a 1 cent, but oh yeah, there's something there. It is 1 cent, unfortunately. Not overly green, so I don't think it's been down here too long. We'll bag that up, and we'll keep if I can get my words out, we'll keep walking towards the tree, which I can see just over yonder. We'll turn back and see what we can find. All right, we've got another one to investigate here, just up the top here, underneath this little tree that's hanging on for dear life. Let's have a go at this. Sounds like it could be a large object, very possibly a piece of a can. We do seem to get a lot of can slaw along this section of beach, so it is within the realm of possibility. Oh no. Oh, it's a key. Looks like a fairly modern key. The sort that you probably expect to find on like a security screen. But alas, that one's been down there a good long time, so we'll bag that up, and we'll keep plugging on. All right, another chance for a coin here. We'll have a go of this. Super stable. I think I've hit a rock there right away, so looks like we're out in one though. So it might be something that's washed out of the bank. I see, yep, there is a coin there. That one's going to be 20 cents. Pretty old one too. All right, we'll add that onto our tally for the hunt, and we'll keep searching. All right, smack dab next to our 20 cent. That was that hole right there. We've got another tone. Low 80s. So very possibly yet another coin. Another scoop required. Okay, definitely hitting gravel there now. Ooh, third scoop required. This one may have been in here a long time. Yeah, 80 to 82 out of the hole. So it stayed fairly consistent. Okay. I see a rim of a coin, and it's another sixpence. Yeah. I like this beach. This beach is cool. That's going to be another 95. Yeah, it is. Another coat of arms. Now, let's get a date off this one as well. And I am spotting 1942. There we go, 1942, so that'll be old George on the back there. Cool. Let's pop that one away and see if we can't turn up a few more of them. Boy, I'm not getting away from this spot easily. That's a sixpence. That's 20 cent. Another tone over here. Mid-70s. Could that be another sixpence? Ooh, some rocks there straight off. Yeah, mid-70s out of the hole as well. Very consistent, so that's a very hopeful sounding tone. Let's see. Oh yeah, there's a coin there. What have I got? Oh, unfortunately it's just a 1 cent. Ringing up a little bit high. Not sure why. Maybe because it's got absolutely no rust on it at all, just a bit of patina. But all right, we'll take it. Let's add that to the collection and roll on. All right, 3 paces further. Another potential coin. So many targets here worth digging. Yeah, very consistent all the way around. Now I'm going to hazard a guess, probably 1 cent. Is it? Is it 1 cent? Coin. And yep, another one. All right, into the bag. And I'll just finish off this last sort of half dozen paces or so, and then we'll turn back and do a little bit lower, and hopefully we can find our coil cover on the way back. Let's move on. Right, no sooner do I turn the camera off, another target pops its head up. This one sounds like it's real shallow. Let's have a go. Somewhere in the 70s again. It should be on or near the surface here. I don't see it. Okay. Okay, it's just under the surface, but not by far. Oh, actually, there it is there. I think it's going to be, yep, another 1 cent. Boy, they're coming thick and fast now. There must have been a lot of activity here at one point. Maybe the area above me, which is now all overgrown, was a park at one stage, because you don't usually find this many 1 cent coins in one spot. Anyway, let's keep searching, eh? All right, another lovely tone here. We've just made the turn to head back and made it about 3 paces, and here we are. Yeah, not sure about that one. Seems to be anywhere from a high 70 to a low 90, although I'm thinking it's probably going to be somewhere in the 80s, most likely. 82, 83. Okay. What are we dealing with? Okay, just in here. So, oh, there's a coin. And that's a young Elizabeth on the back, so that is going to be a 2-cent. Yep, plain edge. All right, into the bag. We'll get this filled in and keep walking. Good news, I found the skid plate. It ended up being right back. This is where we found that that first threepence up here near the palm tree. So in the kerfuffle of getting that out, I've accidentally dropped it off the detector. So at least we can get that reattached now. That's good. Saves me going and buying another one, although I probably should have one around as a spare anyway. Well, we're just about back to where we started from, so we're going to head off in the other direction now and see what there is to find. And yeah, who knows? Maybe there's a few more good finds to be tracked down. Let's keep moving. All right. Well, we've almost made it back to the pathway where we entered the beach a little while ago. Working our way back, there's not been a whole lot, so it seems as though 90% of the finds are contained to the top 10% of the beach. So that's where we're going to focus as soon as we step over the pathway where we came in. But before we do, we've got a little target here that's going to be worth investigation. Let's have a go at this. Very persistent, 40, 41, 42. Okay. Okay, more or less the same out of the hole. So, could that be a coin? The answer to that is yes. It's another 20-cent. Okay, let's add that to our bag and we'll keep working our way along. All right, well, we've got another 40s tone here to investigate. Let's have a go at this. Another small target, but in the mid-40s. So that's going to be too high for a 20-cent. Could be maybe just a fraction low for a 50-cent. Dead on a 45. So maybe fishing gear then, maybe a sinker or something of that nature. Okay. Oh. What have we got there? Oh, it is a 50-cent. What do you know? Yep. Cool. All right, well, let's add that onto the tally and we'll keep walking. Right, well, we're back at the top of the beach. We are past the entry pathway where we started from and we're still working our way along. Interesting to note that for the last little while, there have been no washouts. So, yeah, I don't know, maybe the layer of the terrain above me here is sort of holding some of that rainwater back and funneling it back towards the direction we came from. So we might, we'll carry on at the top of the beach anyway, because no doubt we'll eventually come across more washouts, and with those, I imagine, better finds. But I do have another target here that could be a coin. We're going to have a go at this. Let's find out what it is. Right next to a very fresh dog poo. Let's see. Yeah, it is very shallow. Whatever it. Oh, I did see the rim of a coin. Yep, there is another 20-cent for the kitty. Oh, that one's been in there a little while. Cool. We'll pop that one away, and we'll keep working our way along for a little while further. All right. Well, it's been pretty quiet targets-wise along here. Certainly not the same density of targets as down the other end there where we're finding all our pre-decimals, etc. I think I've probably walked a good few hundred meters possibly between the last target and this one. I'm noticing a lot of iron tones, so there's definitely stuff getting washed out, but it's just not quite what we're looking for. Anyway, I digress. We'll have a go of this target here. It's possibly another coin, and yeah, keep our fingers crossed. Fairly strong sounding tone, and it looks like it's up in the wall at the top here, possibly. Not getting any track on it. These roots are making it rather difficult. Let's see. Could be old if it's where I think it is. It's 20 cents. All right. I wonder if I can get a date there. 68. Okay. Well, that sort of makes sense. So this coin was probably lost, I would say, sometime sort of close to when it was minted. Maybe, well, it'd have to be before 1972. 1972 was the last time that we had a direct hit from a cyclone, or 74 rather, was the last time we had a direct hit from a cyclone here. And there was a cyclone 2 years prior to that in 72. And between the two of them, they basically created a lot of these sandbanks at the top of the beach that we have here today. They're now getting ripped apart by, well, ex-tropical cyclone Alfred. So that could explain that, I suppose. Anyway, let's keep trundling along. Okay, I think we've got a nice shallow target here to dig. It's double bouncing and triple bouncing on the coil, so that usually indicates something that's not far under. See what I mean? It's in the low 40s. So, what are we dealing with? Oh, I see some patina there. And it's another square nail. Okay. So maybe we are getting back onto a patch of older finds here. That would be rather nice. Let's keep trundling on, hey? All right. Well, I've located another pretty severe washout. I've had to vault over that log to get to this find. It sounds like this, and it's sat right on the surface. Solid as anything. I can see there's a coin there. I haven't touched it, so I don't know what it is yet. I've got an inkling feeling, and my feeling is correct. It's a 2 cent. I thought there was a chance it could be a sixpence, but no, it's got a plain edge and it's too thick, so not to worry. We'll pop that one in the bag and we'll keep walking up the beach. All right, well, the washouts up this far have been pretty quiet finds-wise. It's just been the occasional sort of bit of scrap, fishing gear, that sort of stuff. Not really much to speak of. There is something in this washout though we're going to have a go at. Let's have a look at this. Very typical 3940, very strong signal too, so I don't think this one's going to be all that far under the surface. Let's see. Should be just there somewhere. Oh, actually, no. Thought I saw something. Is it there? Yeah, there we go. There is a 20 cent in there. Okay, we'll add that to the kitty and search a little further. All right, well, we're very nearly at the point where we're going to turn back and head back towards the car. Do have a target here we're going to have a look at in the meantime though. Let's have a go of this. Yeah. Now, it's going to be a little bit tricky to get to, I suspect. It's going to be somewhere in all of these rocks. So, oh, it's got a pip of something then. Oh, it's actually up there. Oh, there it is. And that is going to be an old canvas brass eyelet. So, one nice older find in amongst all of these rocks up here. All right, well, let's do this last little bit. We'll turn back and we'll see what we can find lower down on the beach. All right, well, I've made it to the point that we're turning around to head back. The washouts along here have been intermittent, so there'll be no washouts for a while, then a few, then none, then a few. But they've definitely been a lot quieter than the ones closer to Pialba, so yeah, we'll take that as it is. I am going to work some of the lower parts. I'm standing next to a washout here, and I've got a target that's a little bit lower down on this washout. There was nothing further up, so just maybe maybe this is something. Now, I'm completely ignoring the fact that there's an iron tone in there. I don't think that's related to our find. So, I guess we'll find out, hey? I don't know how far down I'm going to be able to go either. Yeah, probably about that far. Unfortunately, there's a lot of rocks and gravel not far down, so oh, there is a coin there, I think. No, there is a something there. Just tap that out unsuccessfully. I don't know what that is really. It's old. Got some concentric circles on the top there. Just going to get the sand out of here. Is it maybe the cap off something? Hard to say. Just trying to see if there's like a if it's like a screw on or a no. I don't really know. I'm going to clean it up anyway, just to see if there's anything interesting to tell about it once it's a little tidier. So we'll put that in the treasure bag for now, and if it turns out to be anything of interest, you'll see it at the end. Right, let's trudge on back to the beginning and see what we can find in the meantime. All right, I'm just gradually working my way along the bottom of the beach just to try and pick up anything I've lost lower down or anything I've missed that's sort of washed out a bit further. And I've got a target here now. I just started digging this one before my GoPro decided to have a bit of a conniption. Anyway, let's try again. Nice little tone. Now, thankfully I didn't get too far before I noticed the GoPro was going absolutely crazy. Okay, so it's out up on the edge there. Oh, actually, yes, I do see green. There's a coin. I think, yeah, 1 cent. All right, at least it's our first coin in a little while. So there are still things out here to find. Let's pop that away and we'll keep working. Just an old Underberg bottle cap. Ooh, that's a classic. 4X gold, Castlemaine, 90s into the early 2000s. I think it's a square nail. Yep, another square nail. It's a really old Fanta orange flavour lid from Coca-Cola Bottlers Brisbane. So that'd be when they were in Fortitude Valley. It's a great big hunk of lead. Big old fishing sinker. There's something there. No. Back on the square nails. I think it's going to be the same. Yep. There's another one. Oh, that's just an old a ring pull. Oh yeah, there's something there. Another square nail.